Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Feyi Mac. I'm a YouTuber based in Toronto, Canada, and I post videos on my life in Canada as a new immigrant and how to get here. If you're interested in this kind of content, please stick on till the end, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Today, I'm continuing the series that I started a few weeks ago regarding how to move to Canada. If you haven't already watched the previous videos, I'll leave the links up here. I have one video on the overview of the process, the most popular process of how to move to Canada, and also a video on the criteria for work experience. So if you haven't watched those, I'll leave the links here for you to just click after you're done with this video, and those would provide all the details regarding, the process and the work experience. This specific video is going to be about the CRS tool, and I'll be doing a demo on how to fill out the CRS tool to know what your chances are. Disclaimer: I am not a licensed immigration consultant. I only share information based on my experience, the experience of those around me, as well as some research. Okay, so keep that in mind. If you do have any serious questions that you need professional guidance on, definitely reach out to a registered, licensed immigration consultant that can help you sort out your application. There's no shame in doing that. You can do it all by yourself as well. That's why I'm here to give you all the information. But of course, if you need professional guidance, just make sure that you're dealing with a licensed immigration consultant. Remember to subscribe, like, and share this video with anybody that needs it. And yes, enjoy. Now, what is the CRS tool? The CRS tool is a comprehensive ranking system which is used to actually help you determine your chances with the Federal Skilled Worker Program under the Express Entry system. I already discussed the factors that, help you boost your score in a different video. So today we're just going to be putting that into practice by actually doing it. So yes, that is what the CRS tool is all about, and that's what this video will be doing. Before we get into the proper demo, I'd like to show you some statistics regarding the candidates that are currently in the pool, and this is as of July 19th, 2020. Okay, so you can actually see this information, and it shows you how many people are, within a specific range of points. So let's get into that. But just before I do that, I just want to let you know, what the last draw actually was. As of the time of filming this video, the last draw that included the Federal Skilled Worker Program, of course, due to, the situation of things in the world right now, I can't say the word. I'll leave it right up here. I can't say the word because YouTube is going to flag my video. But due to this, there has been a slowdown in the number of draws that are, including the Federal Skilled Worker Program candidates. But the last draw actually happened on July 8th. And I'm just presenting you with the information right now on your screen. Okay, so I'm just copying and pasting the link that I have. I'm leaving this link as usual, as well as other links that I'll be touching on in the description box of this video. Okay, so we'll just go here. This last draw that we can see for July 22nd obviously did not include the Federal Skilled Worker Program. It was for the provincial nominee class. So we're just going to skip over that because we are not at that program yet. We're talking about the most popular program right now, which is the Federal Skilled Worker Program without provincial nomination or Canadian experience or any of that. So this is the one that concerns us. There was no program specified, right? So on July 8th, 2020, there was a draw from the pool that invited 3,900 candidates. Now, keep in mind that these 3,900 candidates are principal applicants. That means that there are so we'll put it as 3,900 families. We can say that because, there's usually just one principal applicant in the family, the person that is maybe most qualified or most highly skilled, that has the highest number of points. So your kids and, spouse would still be there, but they're not part of this 3,900. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And so yes, this draw happened on July 8th at 1 p.m. and the lowest score of candidate that was invited was 478. So in this video, you can see previous draws and how they've actually turned out. So all these draws usually, during this period have been for Canadian experience class and provincial nominee class. So the last draw before that, that included everyone, including Federal Skilled Worker Program applicants, was all the way, let's just keep scrolling down, all the way back in February. So February 19th, before everything just went south, 4,500 invitations were sent out, and the lowest ranking score was 470. So of course, by the time they clear out all these Canadian experience class people, those are usually the people that are in the highest range. Some of them usually have like 500 and above. By the time they clear them out, it's going to be much easier for people in the Federal Skilled Worker Program without provincial nomination or Canadian experience to apply and actually get invited to apply. So that's kind of my forecast, but we're going to get to that right now. Okay, so the next link that I'm putting on now is just, it's still the page for the Express Entry round of invitations, but it has more information about the people in the pool and less information about the previous rounds. This is the link for the previous rounds right here. Okay, so now let's look at the distribution of candidates of people in the pool as of July 19, 2020. So we can see that there are 383 candidates in the pool right now, as of July 19th, I should say, who have scores between 601 to 1,200 points. So like I said, this would be people who have, Canadian experience, or they have provincial nomination. So that's why their scores are this high. In the next band, there are also people who have 501 points to 600 points, and there are 183 of them. Typically, these will be people who have extra things like a Canadian education, sibling in Canada, and things like that actually pump them, over 500. Some of them would also have like job offers in Canada that give them the additional score as well. So now in the category of 451 points to 500 points, we can see that there are a lot of people there. So 21,661 people are between 451 points and 500 points as of July 19th, 2020. That is good. Like that is very, very good. Okay, so it further breaks it down though. So between 491 and 500, there are only 148 people. Again, these would be people who have something special like a sibling in Canada, Canadian education, or something. 481 to 490, there are 347 people there. And yes, so you can see that in this specific category, most people are actually in the 451 to 460 range. Okay, so there are 8,000 people there. And then going further down, we can see that between 400 and 450, we have 40,000 people in the pool. And then, of course, we have, 49,000 that are below 400 and higher than 350. So yeah, you can see all this information. The reason I forecasted that the scores would drop from 479 to maybe 474 by the next draw that includes the Federal Skilled Worker Program applicants, and even maybe 470 and even lower from then on, is because during this period, like you saw before, they're actually inviting people who have provincial nomination or Canadian experience. So those people that would typically make up the highest points are going out of the pool because they've already been invited to apply. So there's only a few of them left that are, the very, very high quality candidates in the pool. So in this manner, you can kind of predict what is going to happen. It doesn't always turn out right because new people enter the pool every day, right? So that distorts the forecast as well. Okay guys, thank you so much for sticking with me to this point. We're about to go into the actual CRS Tool demo, but I really just wanted to get all that information out of the way because it really helps you understand how the system works. It's very important to understand how it works so that you know how to boost your points and know your chances depending on the result you get from the CRS tool. So let's get right into the tool now. So it's very easy to find the tool. You just Google the CRS tool and it brings it up. Of course, I'm going to be linking it in the description box for you. Now here you just see a bunch of disclaimers. Read that, but we're not going to read that right now because of time. So let's get right into it. The first question is, what is your marital status? And you have all these options right here. I'm going to use two different profiles. One would be an ideal candidate for this program that wouldn't even have any issues at all reaching the required number of points, and that would be a single person that is under 30 years old with a master's degree. So I'm going to be using that profile first, just for you to see how many points that person gets, especially with the highest IELTS score or CELPIP score. And also, I'll be using the profile of a person who is maybe a bit older or doesn't have the highest IELTS score. We'll see how it goes. Let's just play around with it. So there's no number 2 question here, just because, of course, if you're single, then the number 2 question does not apply to you. Okay, so how old are you? We're going to pick 28 years old. And what is your level of education? So at this point, it's just asking you what your highest level of education is. It doesn't matter whether it's a Canadian degree or a foreign degree. Your foreign degree would be evaluated using an educational credential assessment anyway. So we'll talk about that again. Maybe in my next video, I'll give more details on that. But it's okay. Just go ahead and fill out your highest degree. So I'm going to go with a master's degree or a professional degree in a licensed profession. You can also find more information about it as well. Like you can hit help to find out more information about that. Okay, the next question is asking if you have earned a Canadian degree or diploma. So we're just going to say no, because I know that most of my audience are still in, their home country. Most of you guys haven't actually schooled here, so we'll just say no. And also just read all these available here. I'm not doing that just so that I don't waste time, but let's go to the next one. So number 5 is the official languages. So of course you guys know that English and French are the 2 official languages in Canada. So if you can speak both, that would be awesome. If you can do a test and pass both very well. But if you speak only English or you speak only French, that's okay as well. You just need to do a proficiency test. I already have a video on that. I'm going to link it up here for you. Okay, so we are going to say yes, because it's asking, are the test results less than 2 years old? After 2 years old, they expire and you have to do another test. It's asking which language test did you take? So we're going to say IELTS, because you guys know that's my favorite. And that's probably the most common one as well. Okay, so speaking, we're just going to say, we're just going to pick CLB 10. You guys know my CLB 10 gang. That's the whole point of the video that I made for the IELTS. I want you guys to hit CLB 10 or nothing, okay? So we're going to pick CLB 10. So that means we're going to pick the highest for speaking, listening, reading, and writing. Okay, and of course, this is a range, right? So 7.5 to 9.0. If you have 7.5, you still fall into this category. If you did French, this is where you would select which French test you did. But for us, it's not applicable because I know most of you guys probably can't speak French. If you can, that's awesome for you. You're going to get more points. Now, this is the work experience category, and it's asking if we have any Canadian work experience that is skilled and within the past 10 years. And I'm going to say none or less than a year, because most people that are watching this video probably do not. Now, in the last 10 years, how many total years of foreign skilled work experience do you have? Now, NOC 0, A or B, we already discussed it in my previous video. Link is up here for you. We're going to pick 3 or more years. That is the highest number of years that Canada cares about. So if you have 10 years or if you have 3 years, you're going to get the same number of points for this. Okay, so question is, do you have a certificate of qualification from a Canadian province? I'm going to say no, because most of you guys watching this probably do not. Now, for additional points, it's asking if you have a valid job offer that is supported by the LMIA. We're going to discuss this in another video, but usually most people that are coming from other countries do not have this, so we're going to say no. Next question, do you have a nomination certificate from a province or territory? So this is asking if you have provincial nomination. We're going to say no. We're going to get into that as well. All these topics I will cover in detail in subsequent videos. Next question, do you or your spouse have a sibling in Canada that is a citizen or permanent resident? So keep in mind, they're not asking for a cousin or something. They're asking for at least one brother or one sister living in Canada who is a PR or citizen. So of course the person must be 18 or over, related to you or your partner by blood, marriage or adoption, and you must have a parent in common with the person. So whether you or your spouse, they're basically treating you guys as one. Okay, so here they provide more information, but we're going to click no because most people probably don't. And I'm going to hit calculate your score. We've gotten to the fun part. So now it has calculated the scores, and we're going to go all the way down. And the total is 481 points for a person with this profile. Okay, so I'm glad we did this together. 481 points. You're not going to wait in the pool. At this time, you're not going to wait in the pool. The next draw that includes the Federal Skilled Worker Program will have you invited to apply for Canadian permanent residency. And that is a big deal. Most people that you know that are waiting in the pool are waiting because they don't have this many points. The candidate with the lowest number of points in the last draw that included Federal Skilled Worker Program applicants had 478 points. Okay, but with this, you have 481 points. So you're good. You know, with this number of points, you're good. You're in a good place, and even if it's like 470 something, you're still in a good place, and you have a very good chance of getting invited in the next draw. Now we're going to just refresh and start over with a candidate with a different profile. And I'm just going to make this up as I go. So let's go. Marital status, I'm going to say married. Is your spouse or common law partner Canadian permanent resident or citizen? I'm going to say no. Will your spouse come to Canada with you? I'll say yes. How old are you? I'm going to say, let's say 33. What is your level of education? I'm going to say we have a bachelor's degree. Okay. Have you earned a Canadian degree? I'm going to say no. So I'm just gonna say yes, we do have IELTS, and let's say we score the highest band in speaking. Let's say we scored 8 in listening. Let's say we scored 7 in reading, and in writing we scored 7. This is not the score I want you guys to have. I want CLB 10 or nothing, but I'm just using this as an example just for you to see. Okay, now do you have any other? Yeah, I said no. Okay, so work experience in Canada, none, of course. Foreign work experience, we're gonna say 3 or more because that's typically the case. Okay, do you have a Canadian? Nope. So we're just gonna say no for these other ones. And don't have a sibling in Canada, no. So here it's gonna like start asking information about your spouse. So let's say your spouse also has a bachelor's degree. Okay, next question. In the last 10 years, how many years skilled work experience? In Canada, we're going to say none. Did your spouse take the test? I'm going to say yes, because of course you both need to be taking the test. So here we're going to say she had this. Let's say she had this. Let's say she had this and this. Remember, I'm just making it up as I go, okay? So calculate. We go all the way down and we see that here we only have 414 points. So now let's assume that you have 414 points. You cannot just sit in the pool and wait. You're not going to get invited. Imagine, 3 years ago, people with 400 and even 412 points were able to get invited. That's 3 years ago, not now. Now you need at least 470 points. Maybe by the time it comes down even lower, maybe 465 points would be okay, but we don't know the future. So we want to be, it's the higher the better. We want to be high up there. So 414 points, you're going to sit in that pool for a year and more, hoping and praying that the scores come down. You can't do that. So let's assume that you and your spouse retake the IELTS test. And we're going to go back up and change the IELTS scores to the highest, to CLB 10. Remember, CLB 10 is very achievable. So let's do that. Okay. Calculate your score. And now from 414 points, you have 423 points. Now, to some people, that's such a minute jump. I understand that, but at the same time, every single point is very important to have. Now, in a situation like this with 423 points, there are different options that you can follow. You can actually consider, again, getting a provincial nomination, which we'll be discussing. Different provinces have their own different eligibility criteria for provincial nomination. So if you want me to go into more details about the PMP for maybe each province, let me know in the description box, and I'll invite an immigration consultant to actually come talk to us about it, because there's so many like different provincial nomination programs that, I mean, it's not easy to keep track. But this is just to show you how much a difference in age can make. So let's just go back up and switch them to like age 30, or let's say age 29, because that's usually here, and calculate. Okay, so you can see that that automatically bumps you up to 443 points. So if you're 40 and above, you definitely want to look at other alternatives. You need to start applying to jobs in Canada. Getting a job in Canada would give you 50 extra points, a skilled job. So if you get a job that is in NOC A, B, or 0, you get 50 extra points. If you get a senior management job that is NOC 00, you get 200 extra points. That pushes you over to 600 plus points. Okay, so just keep these things in mind. The earlier the better. And this is one thing I say, I find that a lot of people wait till they need it before they apply. I mean, if you really feel like you're not interested in coming to Canada, then that's fine. But if you feel like there's a chance that you might be interested in moving to Canada as a permanent resident, the earlier you start the process, the better. The earlier you start gathering your documents, taking IELTS and evaluating your degree, the better for you. Because once you clock 30, it gets tougher and tougher. Once you clock 34, it gets tougher. Once you hit 40, it gets tougher. Okay, so that's when you have to start looking for so many creative ways to improve your profile. And I'll be inviting, like I said, immigration consultants to come talk more about this. Thank you very much for sticking with me till the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed the demo. I really hope that when it's time for you to fill out your CRS tool, you come back and play this video so that you're able to fill it out with me as I've done in this video. So definitely do that. If you have any questions, let me know. Even if it's a complicated question, I'll try to reach out to my friends that are immigration consultants. Maybe they can help in one way or the other. I'm actually trying to get a good giveaway that would help people who are active on this channel. If I see your comments and your likes all the time, you might end up winning that. I'll do that. I'll talk about that in my next video. But yes, good things are coming to this channel. Please stick with me. Thank you very much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Hit the subscribe button and share with your friends that need this information. Please don't hoard information. A lot of people don't know what we think are the simple things or the available information. So now that the information has been presented to you in this manner, I hope that you're able to share with your friends who need this. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in my next video.